And if you chose this podcast today, we're going to be talking a lot about rights
and lefts.
And we're going to get right to our first segment,
which is, what do you play no games about? Oh my God, we've never done this before.
Yeah, you know what I play no games about? Liking.
Are you German? No.
Yeah. Like, commenting, subscribing. But this actually goes in the theme of our episode today. I found this and I was like, I gotta say it for the guys. I play no games about YouTube being racist. I was watching a show, and I kid you not, I'm gonna pull this up. This was my YouTube ad. One second. We don't cut this shit. My YouTube ad says, it says, help YouTube by answering this question. Which of these restaurants would you consider eating at? First one, Popeyes. Second one, Chick-fil-A. Third one, Raising Cane's. Fourth, Dave's Hot Chicken. I want you to know, I stopped and said, who the fuck is this? I said, why are all these chickens?
Okay, those are all chain. So listen, if it said Popeyes, like some shit like Popeyes, Bojangles, then I was say churches. Then I said it was a little racist. Those are all chicken chains.
Why have you gotten one of those like that recently?
No, so maybe it's just a you thing.
I'll just say this: I haven't had chicken in a minute. I just felt like, why are they giving me a chicken ad? I felt really, you know what? YouTube, help us out. You know, run our numbers up, and then I'll call my lawyers off. You know what I'm saying? But this is not good. But I will send this to you guys so we can have it, so they can see this. So I'm not lying. This is like, look at this. I said, these motherfuckers.
So if you had to, etch one of those out, what would it be?
Oh, Dave's Hot. Dave's Hot is blah.
Yeah, I don't really get the hype on it.
Thank you. But, yeah. It's just like people's need for things to be fucking hot.
Oh, you a mild guy. I know it.
What are you playing no games about?
I know it. I know it. It's a mild chicken.
I enjoy my spicy at times.
At times, yeah.
I will say this. It was back in the day when it was called Century. There was that like food place that had these hot wings. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
There's a lot of food.
Okay, so you know where Century or Jackie's is?
Yes,
the restaurant that's on that corner, because it went through like two different rebuilds. There was this guy who had like wings. It was like I don't want to say not Lebanese food, but it was like I forget which country it was, but man, I would say the best hot chicken I've ever had. It was right enough spice, right enough kick. Can't remember your name, but best hot wings there.
Word. What do I play no games about this week? I play no games about the fact that I have crew members on here who wish me bodily harm and that tried to, possibly ruin my summer for 2025. Not fucking around. It was an accident, but it was nice though this week. Last week rather, just hooping with my guys. Had a little, incident.
RJ,
my life flashed before my eyes for a quick second. But no, it was nice. Even like beforehand, just running Crunch or Rob with him and two other guys. So I've been kind of intentional about being active in a lot of different ways this past couple months. So take care of your health.
Man, once you get healed up, I would love to have you back on the court.
Yeah. Can we get an appearance from Drew?
I've been asking.
I feel like Drew would be like. You ever seen
warm-ups?
Nah.
There we go.
Is that the movie with Martin Lawrence?
The guy with the helmet.
Oh, he's singing
Rebound. Remember when the Smelters? Remember when I had that tall guy that come out and everybody thought he was gonna be like Shaq, and then as soon as he didn't defend a drive, he was like, "Take it to the hole, boys. They're soft inside." But you gotta swat that shit away.
Oh sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just your inner Peter Parker. But nah, man. So you got to see me. You got to see some of my skills.
You're lighter on your feet than I expected.
Once again, a now believer of the Stopper University.
I know. See, I didn't say all that.
I did. I had some clean picks. I botched that fucking layup. That still haunts me in my dreams.
Yeah, you smoked that shit.
I smoked the fuck out of that. But I will admit, I fucking picked that nigga clean. I was like, you bastard. So you're not about to run this shit on me. But RJ knows how I play.
Draymond Green.
I said like Lou Dort.
Fuck. I'm more of a Tobias Harris. There we go.
You don't have that much wiggle.
Yes, I do.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
You didn't see his 3-pointer. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
Bullshit.
you true like you got a backpack on?
Stop it. No. Are you really gonna lie today?
Alright, he shoots better than Draymond Green.
Thank you.
So Lou Dort.
No, absolutely not. I'm not no
Y'all
Lou
kind
Dort.
of got the same build,
I'm
okay?
Tobias.
He grabs the ball and goes.
I'm Tobias. You know, Tobias Harris. You know, I get in there. You know, you put me anywhere.
No, you grab the ball and go like Draymond.
Anywho,
First topic. There's a lot of conversation on the timeline this past week. Complex, as they always do, they like to rattle the cage. They dropped a list of the top 50 greatest rappers from LA. One name that stuck out to me that wasn't within their top 10 was The Game. And, you know, I might just be partial to him because he's one of my favorite rappers, but to me, he held down the West Coast for a good chunk between like 04 to like 2011, 2012 before Kendrick got started. I personally would have him in the top 10. What do you think, Rob?
I actually
And I want to say he was ranked like
11th.
What was he, 11th? Yep.
He was 11. I actually agree with you when it comes to The Game, and I don't want to play like I know all the rappers that are on the West Coast and be ignorant and things like that, but like when you think of like West Coast like rap, like you think of The Game. So like as a person, you would just think at least 8, like in that. Yeah.
RJ, what was the top 10?
Put him on mic.
Test.
Yeah, so what we have here is starting from 10, going down to 1. We have Nipsey Hussle at number 10. Number 9 is Eazy-E. Number 8 is Be Real. Number 7 is Ice Cube. Number 6 is DJ Quick. Number 5 is Tyler, the Creator. Number 4 is Dr. Dre. 3 is Ice Cube. 2 is Snoop Dogg. And 1 is Kendrick Lamar.
Wait, I swear you said Cube twice. Who's 8?
No Cube. Number
Real.
8 was Be Real.
Before Be Real, who'd you say?
Easy.
Eazy-E.
Who was 10?
Nipsey.
Oh, Nipsey. I don't know why I thought.
Nipsey. Yep.
Maybe I'm sharing stuff today.
So
Who, if you did move him in, who would you move out?
I might say something controversial.
Go
You
ahead.
might not like this. Once again, working with a limited deck. I would move either Be Real or I would say Be Real be second. That'd be my second thought. But my first thought would be Eazy because when you look at Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, from my limited knowledge, I believe because I think they wrote for him, right?
Roll for who?
Eazy.
Cube did. Dre didn't.
My bad.
Yeah, Dre doesn't write most of his music.
Okay. All I'm saying is
He's just a producer.
all I'm just saying is like I feel like they have like that attachment, and I feel like his success was catapulted because of Q and Dre. Just even though you correct me on that, and I feel like that gets him out the top 10 when you think about The Game. I feel like The Game could be a solid 7 or 8. If that's my controversial thought. What do you think about that?
So for me, my own personal taste, you know, I'm not from LA, but I'm pretty well versed in like West Coast music. I would say Be Real. Probably be somebody I'll move out.
Okay.
I think Tyler could probably slide down because I feel like people from LA for real only started wrapping their arms around him in the last couple of years. Nah, I don't want to deal with trolls online. I'll say my thoughts.
Well,
But yeah, those two, and it's weird because the way, so they had some qualifiers around cultural impacts, commercial success, skills as a rapper, and like one of the things with that, obviously, in terms of like skills as a rapper, well, it's not the end all be all because you know delivery, cadence, you know your aura, stage presence, everything like that. But writing's gonna come into play with that, and if Dre and Eazy don't write their own music, that's kind of like a. a big
yeah,
thing.
I get what you're saying.
That's why I could like see. And I always thought of Dre as more of a producer than an artist, anyway. So, it feels kind of weird to have him. What was he at? RJ 4,
3 or 4.
3, 4. Yeah, having him at 4 just feels kind of weird. But like Game to me like I don't think I could have a serious hip hop conversation with you in terms of like LA County rappers if he's any lower than like 5 or 6.
So I think the reason why, number one, Complex does these types of like
For this right here, these type of lists, so we're having a conversation like
to
this.
have a conversation where I think you place the wrong person out of like, you know, a solid top 8, top 10, and then you just the Beehive. Where it's like saying Beyonce is a top 6 singer of all time. Everyone's gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
I don't know if everybody would argue.
You don't think so?
I don't think she is, but her fan base is so big. I think you'd get more controversy having the other way around. Like somebody had her like 30.
Okay. Thank you. Better. Now, and I think for me, and actually, this is like a shout out to Bima. He's one of our people here in Portland who gave a take about I think not Vince, Pusha T responded to one of his takes about what about like his music in his shoe, and like Pusha was like, "Oh, this is a great take." And I feel like sometimes people have to go shock jockey, or I have to do this thing without just giving an honest, genuine, like, this is how I feel. And I feel like that carries more weight to the artist. For even if it was something constructive, I would be more amped to listen to this rather than to push this person down to make a point. So
Real. So speaking of rappers, though,
really quick, when it comes to this list, and I don't know this, and I should know this because I do have a lot of his music. Isn't Larry June?
No, he's from the Bay.
Okay, that's why I really thought he was LA.
Yeah, no, he's from the Bay, and it would get like real hard to me making like a top 20 California rappers list because what people care about in terms of like subject matter, sound is so different in like Northern California versus Southern California. Like I'm trying to think of somebody like Mac Dre, right? Most niggas in the Bay, you can't tell them Mac Dre isn't a better rapper or make better music than Snoop for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're not getting out certain places, you know, saying shit about certain artists.
Facts. But speaking of rappers, though, one rapper had a very interesting vacation trip, I guess you could say, recently. Cardi B, she was outside with her new man, Stefon Diggs. And no, it was some vibes on that boat for sure. It seemed like bro was passing out some party favors. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, man. You know, sometimes, you know, when I was in middle school, I put that.
Oh, you said indulge?
No, I was saying
with the booger sugar.
No, but you put the good candy in the Alto case. You know what I'm saying? So the teachers wouldn't see. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't play around with that.
Okay. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully New England not watching this.
Yeah. No, hopefully. I thought I saw a report that the NFL was going to look into it. It might have been just some fake Twitter shit though.
I'm not sure about that, but I know the Patriots were talking to him. I know for sure. But no, continue. My bad.
Yeah. Is he wilding to you right now?
Yes. And you and RJ can correct me with this, but isn't Stefon Diggs coming off like a major injury too?
Yes, he is. But he also just signed a new contract with the new team, so I don't think he's really concerned about that.
But
he looks really good in camp right now.
Okay. So I haven't seen that, but I would just say this because Stefon's maybe like 31, 32,
somewhere around there, yeah.
And I think he's getting to, dare I say his NFL peak.
He's already peaked. He's on the back end.
Okay, yeah. And I feel like you're not going to come across a $90 million contract like that again. And I feel like you got to get everything you can out of that. And I think this will separate, the greats from what's a better word than great?
Hall of Fame.
There we go. Greats from the Hall of Fame. And I don't know, it's just kind of like that addiction, that fame. And it's kind of like, man, you really about to trick this off for the vibes.
Some people are just here for the vibes, and I think that's completely okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So, same situation, the vibes. You was out there. Do you think your mom's saying something to you?
How old am I, Rob?
35,
No, seriously, how old am I?
about to be 30.
Okay. So what does that mean?
You're an adult.
So what does that mean?
You can do adult things. But
he gets it.
but it's the brand.
About speed.
But it's the brand though.
Listen, if I got to that point and I'm the breadwinner for the entire last name,
Here we go. Here we go.
nothing. No, I don't care about nothing. Nobody has to say. I'll say
No.
heed to any advice, but you're not gonna tell me how to live my life as long as I'm not.
If you're fucking up the bag,
how are you gonna tell me I'm fucking up the bag? We haven't lost any money.
they were literally talking that they were about to potentially release this dude.
Was not gonna happen. I can guarantee you that he has way too much guaranteed money on that.
But
deal.
it's the New England Patriots. It's
he
the
has
New
too,
England Patriot way.
he has too much guaranteed money on that deal for them to release him right now.
Okay, so Bill. So
Bill Belichick hasn't worked for
No,
him
I
in 3
understand.
years.
We can agree that Bill Belichick is gone, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, great. So do you think the Patriot way
I'm
is
lost on what that was supposed to.
okay? I just want to just
Okay.
all right. Do we still think the Patriot way?
Is a thing? No.
It is. What are you talking about? I think that's an organization thing.
No,
That's an organization thing.
That's a Bill thing.
Like, I feel like because didn't this new coach come from a Bill Belichick coaching tree?
New coach, as in the one that's here now, or the one that was coaching last year?
New one.
Yes. Not coaching tree. He played there.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But even still, I think when
Gerard Mayo played for him and coached, but he got fired.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. I feel like when you sign a contract and you're devoting yourself, to an organization, you gotta give the mind, body, spirit. Like, I definitely understand you could do what you want as adulting, but it's kind of like where the NFL is at. Image is all the rave, and that kind of fucks up the image with the Patriot way, whether you agree or not, and it fucks with.
Did anybody go to jail?
Yes.
Who?
My taste buds.
Were you able to confirm actually what he gave her?
Oh yeah, it was that booger sugar.
Oh, you know that for a fact?
Oh, fact. I slowed down the video.
So you know what that is?
Yeah.
So you've sampled it?
Allegedly.
So no.
I've never taken crack cocaine.
Well, that's not how you would take crack cocaine. But
How would you take it?
well, most people usually smoke crack.
Okay.
If you're gonna
Show me. That was it.
show, I usually snort coke
Wow.
because crack cocaine and coke,
Hey,
while similar.
I'm slow, so I'm trying to speed it up.
You're not slow. You just never hopped off the porch, which is cool. You're a good guy.
So I got to do drugs to hop off the porch.
No.
So
You're a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy. He's a good
So
guy.
I got so please just so. What do I need to do to hop off the porch?
You know what 12-12 skinny is?
No.
Is it? See, you a good guy. You a good kid.
What?
You know what triple beam is?
No.
See, you a good kid.
Hey, kids stay in school. It
And if
pays out.
school don't work out, the streets are always there.
All right.
No, real talk though. On a serious note, this isn't anything new for Steph though. To be real true, like
Yeah.
he's been knocking them down. Him and his brother, Trayvon Diggs. He plays for my Dallas Cowboys. Got a kid by, I want to say his first BM is either Yasmin Lopez or Milan Hernandez.
Why do you know these
And his
names?
second one is Joy Chavez that has a kid by Future. So him, Future, and Bow Wow all have the same baby mom.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean they've been putting numbers up on and off the field for a while now. So
Man, bring your father to work day is kind of interesting.
yeah. But yeah, so I can't say it's like kind of off brand for him. Honestly, I think if anybody's gonna crash out in this situation, it's probably gonna be Offset because with his tweets, he just seems like he's really going through it. And I think it's one of those situations where a woman took you back after getting caught cheating 1,000 times, and then when she finally shows her ass, now it's really killing you.
Yeah, it's just
So like when you've been in those situations, Rob, like how'd you handle it?
I've been in a few situations where I could have crashed out, but I didn't. I just had a good, community. I'm I'm actually not about to do that. Yeah, I had good community.
Why do you always hold back on this show? I feel like I have to pull back
What
the
are you
layers.
talking about?
You always hold back, and I have to peel back the layers and look like just this wild ass nigga.
Hey, it's like
We don't pay you to be on this mic just saying bullshit.
I don't be saying bullshit.
Does he say bullshit?
Yeah, let me
Fact check that.
Yeah. Yes.
First and foremost,
Frequently.
I give my real takes all the
No,
time.
because you're
No,
holding
you
back.
don't. Last week you were like, no, I'm just playing this up for the camera.
That was true though.
So that's not real.
First and foremost, I was being facetious and ignorant. Like, first of all, I think I said something ridiculous, like, blah, blah, to play up that I was taking this position that I'm really not. As a joke. Come on. So, okay, so what's the finite question you want to know? Well, how I've crashed out?
Yeah.
How I've crashed out. I think one of my biggest crash out moments, I think I'd have to say, I think when one of my situationships didn't work out. Why you look at me like this?
Okay, I'll look off camera.
I think when one of my situationships didn't work out, I think for me, I moved some of my stuff out of the place I was at. And then I think I kind of also took some of her stuff and played the cat and mouse game.
Hold on. So let's pause.
Okay.
So you had a situationship that you were living with?
Well, I had some stuff over there.
That's not a situationship, dude.
It wasn't official.
So y'all were living together.
Off and on. I like how what I'm telling
That
y'all.
don't-
I like how I'm
no.
telling y'all a story, and then now we're questioning the things I'm telling you.
No, I don't see any wild things.
Yeah, no. All right. So, no. You know what? You're right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. And I think my crash out thing was because her best friend peeped me to a backdoor situation because I was
So you hit her.
How much more vague can you get?
Yeah, come on. Just spit it out. Spit it out.
I feel like I'm
You hit her best friend?
say today's
No.
article.
no. She just told me that the person I was trying to get to more. She was like, oh, she's talking to other guys as seriously, and from what it was playing up in my face, I was like, oh, we're moving towards a
Oh,
relationship.
so basically, y'all were damn near living together. Over here, what? You probably, it was her place or your place?
Between both our places.
Okay, so you had some stuff over here. You probably here 2-3 times a week type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay, so while you were doing that, she was saying she had work or late study hall at the library.
Yeah, and then
and was getting a chain slapped in her face.
I was also a part of that, but I was also
How many weeks out? I mean, how many days out the week would you say was your shift?
Did you also give it an 90-day trial?
no, I was in my younger days. I would just say this, it was one of those, when you I've poured into this person and I felt
Be feeling stupid as hell.
exactly,
Boy.
and then I had a swipe or no swiping moment, and then no one told me 3 times, and when I
Yeah.
just moved my stuff, some other stuff came with me because I started calculating some dinners. I was like, got you, pay me back, boom. So
Real. So did you sell this stuff or
it made it some years, and then
Now, if you was player, is what you would have did. You would have gifted the shit. You would have got with somebody else pretty shortly
I
afterwards.
feel like that's weird, bro.
Hey, shit, save you some money
Fair-
if that's
fair
what
enough.
you're trying to do.
Fair-
But
But I did that shit out of spite, and when you kind of talk about Offset, right? I don't think he has that community to tell him, because he makes all the money for the community, where no one can step up to say, hey, bro, you need to chill. I feel like in our relationship, I feel like if something was happening and I made an assumption and I was like, hey, Tay, what's going on? I feel like you will at least listen to me and be like, hey, that's wild, because I know your end goal. the end goal is for Offset to be with his kids.
Yeah.
The end. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I wouldn't say I've had like a crash out moment,
Yeah.
cause and you gonna think, oh, it's how you being too cool for school.
No,
But no, I just like my vanity won't allow me to let somebody else know I'm bothered. So what I did, instead, once, kind of similar, I found out Shorty was on some weird shit with me. We stopped speaking. Her play cousin, then I see her out, and she let me know that they had also fallen out. Now mind you, me and the girl had never really got along. Fine, but we never got along. Then the moment she gave me an inkling that she was halfway interested, oh, it's a go.
No, I seen you've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that was I had to revenge my younger self for that one.
Hey man, what can men do against such reckless hate?
That part. But yeah, now I'm mature enough to realize, that's not the best way to handle stuff. But I feel like we both got what we needed out of that situation.
Oh, 1,010%. 1,010%. I would just think.
And it was really just a coping mechanism because I was hurt. My feelings was a little hurt.
Likewise. Yeah. Just think if we added kids to it. Because I feel like with you will never, ever let anyone play about your children in the future. Like, you be like, immediately like, nigga, what?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's like that other element that, because also I see you as a good aunt too. I see you, Taylor of the kids, where it's kind of like, I don't think you let anyone play even with your nieces and nephews right now.
Yeah.
So to me, I think I kind of like resonate with him on that point, but it's kind of like, I think it's just tough though.
I think Offset really just using that as something to have a case to be upset about.
Yeah.
But no, excuse me. It's not like his kid was put in any bodily harm. Their hair was just pretty similar. But
it's a control tactic that
she's doing that shit to troll him, and
exactly.
and he's like publicly falling for the bait.
So it is Men's Mental Awareness Month,
or even like when he tweeted out, I don't even want this ball, I toss it, and then Stefon posted a picture of him catching it. Yeah. So
I just hope nobody wins.
It's like
Family Feud.
You throwing a fit online, crying, she getting bent over a balcony, like.
It's just something different when your girl's doing treacherous things,
and you know how she gets down.
Soiled it.
But speaking of girls, last juicy topic before we go to ad break. So as y'all know, we've been going and doing top 10 listings, and we need to actually find a way to like package this. We need a name for this, kind of like how we have Play No Games, shot clock. Do you need me to get my marketing bag and like come up with something?
Please do.
All right, got you. I'll have it by next week. But yeah, we've been doing like top 10 lists, drafts, so forth and so forth. So I was talking with my friend, and she was like, you know what? It'd be fire if y'all did as a way for black men to take accountability. I want y'all to do one where you guys examine the top 10 things that men can say or do that turn off black women. So now me and Rob are going to go off of our personal experiences and things we've heard to take a guess on what may be the top 10 things that turn off black women that we say or do. So we went to Chatgpt, our audio production crew on the side have the answers here, and we're going to guess what those are in the next 2 minutes. So Drew, let me know when we can start talking about your ex.
No.
Cheating.
No.
What?
Mansplaining.
Yes.
Okay. Not paying for the tab.
No.
Not providing.
Not having a job.
Yeah.
No.
Having a baby mom.
No.
Okay. If cheating's not on there.
Calling women bitches.
Yep.
Okay. Catcalling.
That kind of fits under the same thing, Tate.
All right. Fuck.
Anything related to 50-50.
50-50 what?
Like
Cutting the bills 50-50.
Yeah.
No.
Having a
50-50.
Hold on. Having a podcast.
What? That's number one.
Are you serious? That's one of these.
Damn.
Wait, are you trolling or are you serious?
No, I'm trolling.
Oh, I was
Okay.
like, you know, that's a big thing.
Fuck. We're
All right,
I
guys,
guess
you
we're
got
really-
50 seconds left.
We're the men they're talking about.
Yep.
Oh, not paying child support.
I mean, that's just shitty in general, but
that wouldn't turn a woman off because that would be your baby mom. You're doing that too.
Yeah.
I'm talking about,
No.
yeah. Fuck. Liking too many women's stuff on Instagram.
Yeah. Chatgpt, I don't know what's going on.
no.
Okay,
They're
bro.
very vague.
Bro, hell no. I got to see this list. Hey, clock. Yeah, come on.
What is this
Yeah,
list?
clock. Let me see this shit. I'm going to read this off.
Please read these off. I thought we had this in the bag.
All right, so I'm going to read this off. Invalidating black identity or culture. Lack of ambition or direction.
Okay, I can see that one.
Poor communication or emotional unavailability.
Damn, that's a top one.
But see, like that's not culturally specific. That's like a lot of this shit. Lack of grooming or self care. This shit isn't culturally specific at all.
This is a question I was going to ask earlier where I'm like, I don't know if I'm okay to ask this.
Yeah.
It's like these, I don't know. But like,
Disrespecting black women publicly or privately. Inability to self-reflect or grow.
they just seem generic.
All right, bro. So you know what's crazy? He asked the same exact question I did in his phone. And I'm gonna read off the shit that came up on mine. I didn't even get to look at it. Number one, you're pretty for a black girl. So like that's the type of shit I was playing.
That will get you in trouble.
Trying to mansplain black womanhood.
Yes.
Bringing up submission on the first date.
Ooh.
Talking down on natural hair, protective styles or wigs.
Oh.
Saying you don't see color.
Ah.
Calling yourself a nice guy every 5 minutes.
Ew. That's you.
I don't say I'm nice at all.
I don't say I'm a nice guy.
Just ran it again and got basically the same.
So
Asking why are you single like it's a diagnosis. Being performatively woke but privately problematic. don't quote James Baldwin if you still clutch your wallet when you walk past a black teen in a hoodie. Mocking AAVE or acting black for clout. Not listening, like really not listening. If she shares something deep and you respond with "that's crazy," you might as well slide the bill across the table and go. And don't try to bring up your profession as if you already are in tune with your emotions.
Damn.
Whew.
We just learned ChatGPT knows race.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how that happens too, because like, just gonna bring this up. So one of our audio and production directors, RJ, tried to type it into his phone. Mind you, he's never used ChatGPT before until I just typed it into his phone just now. When I tried to type in that question, it kicked him back a response saying this something to the effect of "this is racist. I'm not allowed to search this up." So I'm just kind of curious how I'm then able to, and it doesn't know my race. I mean, I mean, it clearly does now.
It
though,
clearly does.
And AI is very creepy.
Man, that is very creepy.
No, we should get some women on here sometime and have them do like the reverse of that.
We should have to do reverses. I think we gotta do this again. We gotta redeem ourselves.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We botched the fuck out of this one.
But see, like once he started saying no to certain stuff, my mind was like, all right, bro,
Thank
like
you.
where's this going? Because like,
I think if we would have we've heard right on some of those, we picked up speed.
Yeah.
And then we've been like, all right, passive aggressive, not communicating. That I feel like that one, the hair.
but like the not communicating, I feel like that like transcends race and culture.
But like you said, mansplaining though.
Maybe I just don't kick it with enough non-black people. I don't really hear that term used outside of our community.
Mansplaining?
Yeah.
It is.
I think
You've had a woman tell you
Yeah.
that you're mansplaining?
Yeah, I've heard a black woman.
Your wife says that to you?
Yeah, actually.
Damn, that's crazy.
Well, we won't need to mansplain this next ad for you. We'll be right back.
All right, yeah.
Do you have an event coming up? A project that'd be elevated by crisp visuals and clear audio? Look no further than the Backseat Critic Productions. Our email is bc.productions.pdx@gmail.com.
Find us on Instagram at bc.productions.pdx.
RJ with the Backseat Critic here. Critics, I apologize. But guess what? I am bringing a special draft today to Rob. I apologize. Once again, Mr. Rob and Sir Tay here as they battle each other today. The draft, what we're looking for is I want you guys to draft your top 5 animals. And here's the thing, top 5 animals, but the rest of the animal kingdom is trying to kill you.
Oh, damn.
So we're going to figure out whoever can draft the top 5 that will protect themselves to see who could survive the longest.
Oh, I got this.
All right.
Easy.
As a caveat, can
Wait,
I ask what setting am I in?
Let's just go in a contained arena.
Who goes first? Or we get to flip?
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, hold up. Are we doing it? 1, 2?
Yes.
What? No. See, 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay, all right.
All right.
Rock, paper,
scissors, shoot.
I want you to go first.
Okay, I'm fine with this. Oh, this is lovely. My first choice. We want a grizzly magnum or
Oh, what?
a magnum grizzly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's your animal.
You know,
No,
a grizzly bear. A grizzly bear. I want a grizzly bear.
Is that a grizzly magnum? Is that a grizzly magnum?
I want a grizzly bear.
No. Magnum.
Grizzly bear. I said grizzly bear. My bad.
No. Grizzly magnum.
No, grizzly bear.
Now, for my first and second pick, I'm going to go with the goddamn grizzly bear.
No. I have a fucking grizzly bear.
A grizzly bear.
We're not doing this. We know the true
I'm going
story.
with a grizzly bear and a gorilla.
No.
A silverback gorilla.
No. We clearly know I have.
I don't know what you were on.
You know I was trying to say. He gets to go against you. He didn't pick an animal.
What are you saying?
He didn't pick his animal.
Hey, you guys.
All right, my second animal.
What a wonderful.
Dog is day, blue is night. I can get there. All right, we all know I have a grizzly bear. Second,
I don't know that.
Second, I'm gonna go polar bear.
In the non-arts. Yeah. All right.
They survive.
Um.
And then after a polar bear, I'm definitely gonna go with I need some other big body. Who else can be press me up in the club?
What?
Press them up in the club. I'm gonna actually have to go with the.
What do you plan on doing with these animals?
They gonna protect me. I'm gonna be behind them.
Sounds like it's more than that.
Hey.
You might have the magnum. I think the magnum's gonna protect you.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the liger.
Rob is correct. They show him in Tiger King. They do exist.
Bro. All right.
I mean, that's fine. You've got a big condom, polar bear, and a liger.
All right, bro.
He doesn't have a grizzly bear.
I do.
We're clearly not. We clearly know what I was saying.
I don't know what the fuck you were saying.
A grizzly bear. What I was trying to say.
How'd you go from that to Magnum?
You know what I was trying to say.
Try swallowing before you speak.
I have skills.
Oh shit.
This is disingenuous because you know what I was trying to say.
Nobody knows what you're trying to say. But I will I will go with a hippopotamus.
Fair. I like that.
And a tiger.
Figured you'd do that. I'm gonna go with Komodo dragon. And then I'm gonna end things up. That would be my fifth. I'm gonna end things out with because we got some poison working for us. One bite is all we need. One lick, and then I'm gonna finish it up with
Are you still pressing a button in the club, or?
Oh, we pressing them up in the club with this lineup. And then I'm gonna finish it out with the largest anaconda possible. The 50 footers.
A 50-foot anaconda? Is that
My
max?
anaconda don't want none.
That was actually gonna be my pick. So let's make a pivot real quick. Oh, what am I gonna end with? Might go aerial. Yeah, might go aerial. So wherever the world's most dangerous. Actually, no. There's a no. Yeah, we'll just go with the world's largest eagle or vulture.
Oh, we fine.
Yeah.
That's fried chicken.
Yeah.
Now I felt really.
Actually, yeah.
I
Or vulture?
Nah, croc. Yeah, croc.
I feel bad about summer, but guess what? I fucking bodied this animal once. I'll tell you that. I'm protected.
5-on-4.
5 on 4. It's 5 on 5.
That's 5 on
4.
No, remember, this is you guys versus the rest of the animal kingdom, and whoever's gonna survive the longest. It's not you guys versus each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's Rob. You have
A grizzly magnum.
I have a grizzly bear.
and a polar bear, a liger,
At least
Komodo
you give me
dragon,
hard.
anaconda,
After you die,
and the
at
rest
least
of the
you give me
animal
hard.
kingdom is coming after you.
Okay.
Do you think your lineup can survive longer than Tay's lineup?
Yes.
Like you will live longer than Tay.
Yes.
Which is a grizzly bear, a gorilla, a hippo, a tiger, and a
A
croc.
hippo not in fucking water.
Wait,
a
you said
crocodile
who?
Not in water.
Wait, list his lineup again.
His
Yeah.
grizzly magnum, polar
Bear.
liger, Komodo dragon, and a 50-foot anaconda for the magnum.
Okay.
Anywho, I will definitely be surviving longer, and I'll escape.
I don't know.
We'll let y'all decide. His lineup, my lineup. Anywho, speaking of other lineups, so this has been a show of revelations and understanding things. Now, this clip actually comes from
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
The deadliest animal, just in general, is a mosquito. You guys missed one.
But ain't that only if it's carrying some wild shit like West Nile
Exactly.
disease?
So, we also are going to keep things going because it's, I think this theme of the day, talking about the relationships in the world that we manifest. So, this comes from the Grits and Eggs podcast. This guy named Devonte something, I can't remember, but he was kind of talking about how, and maybe I can have Andrew or myself, whoever edits this one, drop that clip in, but the whole point of the clip, he was talking about how men should take accountability for when they're with women, and it's our responsibility as men to make women feel comfortable at all times, because he equated men making women feel comfortable all the time, equating it to how white people should make black people feel comfortable and make sure that they're a good white person. Now, I got where he was going with that, and I understand the comparison, but I also was like, that's just a lot of energy to expend each and every time you're with a person to be like, oh, I'm a good person to hang out with. And I feel like there are more subtle ways for someone to be like, hey, I'm a, safe person, without having to like tap dance and shuck and drive with it. Now, you watched the video. What were your reactions watching it? Honestly.
I'm just tired of like the era we live in. Like, that's all. It's like, why do I always have to have like these conversations of like, and it's not to undermine any negative experiences people go through with the opposite sex,
Yeah.
but like, damn, why can't we all just get along? Like,
Hey, I always think that. Now, another reason I'm talking about this clip, because it really blew up, and a lot of black women in the comments were like, oh yeah, I agree, blah, blah, blah. Intersectionality, that's something that he brought up. Now, I have seen their show before, and I've seen a lot of clips he's talked about before. I've seen a little bit of the show. Do you feel like this clip is pandering?
It's hard. Like, so I've seen some clips. I feel like I'd have to like really dive into his full content to really get a gauge on his personality, or a better gauge, I should say. Not that I know him personally. I understand how it could be perceived that way.
Yeah.
Do I think there's some merit to what he's saying? Yeah, in some ways, because well, there are some sickos in this world, but no. I think we're also in a day and age where if you're feeding the proverbial mob what they want to hear, like, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people who are cheering you on. So.
We haven't gone viral yet, and I always wonder what's gonna be our viral clip.
Probably some crazy shit I said, unfortunately.
I'm gonna have you back though. I'm gonna have you back.
I don't know if you are, but
I will. You don't think I would have you back?
I think you'd be like what do they call those shit people?
Backstabbers?
Well, that too. No,
Opportunists.
that's a silent funder. Yeah, like he's gonna be like a silent supporter.
First and foremost,
Hey guys, trust me, my guy Jay's good. People still. Or on camera, all of a sudden, like you won't see me on the podcast for like 3 weeks. Like, yeah, so I Play No Games podcast, just with me working in my profession and also running R&D. We just try to make sure it's an inclusive space for all. So, we're going through some adjustments with our staff. So, if you see some new faces up here, don't be surprised.
I will say this on camera. I would say, unless y'all doing some fuck shit I don't know about, I will 110% stand.
Damn, why you banging on this?
Oh, my bad.
No.
I will 110% stand with y'all. Like, unless there's like something with evidence where I'm like, we don't support that. But to get back on topic, the reason why I kind of wanted to bring it up is like, I also, because I feel like for me as just a man in general, I feel like I try to do subtle things without saying like, hey, I'm doing this so you feel comfortable. Because I know one thing I've shifted and changed in my life is like sometimes when I'm talking to a woman and I notice that there's like I'm like standing up or something like that. Sometimes I like worked in like I'll sit down and get to her level, let her know like, hey, I'm not trying to like be domineering, but I feel like no one had to tell me that because I work in a field with a lot of women. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting perspective shift because I'm worried about can my words reach you in a comfortable place, and I think I did that for myself to be more approachable for women, not because like I'm like clamoring, because I don't do it all the time, but like if I can like sense and feel the vibes, I'm like, all right, how can I make the situation more comfortable? And I think when that guy has that kind of like rhetoric, it just plays so much in the other person's lap to like, I have to like set this table for you, where it's kind of like when he was even equating to like how white people have to like, all right, you have to show me you're a good white person. I think for me, it was kind of like, I think I see that by just your general actions. And then at the same time, when it comes to like the black issues, I feel like some of the black issues we have to fix ourselves. Like even, I feel like those two are constant. And like when you mix that recipe of race and intersectionality in women, it just gets the cesspool of like, where are we going with this? Like, I'm not trying to say, and you may have to correct me with this one, where it's kind of like that victim mentality, where it's kind of like, how are you going to stay in the moment? Because not every man you meet is going to be bad, and every woman you meet is going to be bad. It's just like, when are we going to get out of that, like, that cycle,
It's not going to happen.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No.
Why?
People don't want to.
You really?
No.
Interesting.
It's more convenient to complain about your problems than be solution-based.
Okay. We did botch.
I hate to sound so bleak, but
No,
yeah.
I appreciate that. Since we botched the top 10 for black women, I'm just curious, what do you think as men, without a woman having to tell you, what's something that you think men should just do just off the rip just to make a space more inclusive or like, making it more accommodating and inviting?
In a romantic sense, or just like
I would go both. I think both matter.
Romantic is learn your woman.
Mm.
Just I feel like we try to too much create philosophies to make shit like one size fits all when people are individuals. What one woman or what one man or how somebody may identify what works for them may not work for the other person. So
Okay. And what about just like a woman? You mean a street colleague?
just don't be a fucking creep. Like I hate to put it like straightforward, but don't be a creep. Just be courteous, kind, treat people how you want to be treated.
Hey, Mama T across the board told me just treat people how want to be treated, and I've adopted that in most of my philosophies, and I think I fared pretty well when it comes to just
You gotta sprinkle of chivalry.
exactly. I said this when I was to my own girl. I was like, I'm gonna consistently open up your door, so you never expect it, but you're always surprised when I do it. So it's kind of like not building in the things. So that's why I at least want to talk about the topic. You guys find a way to stay in the now, but also I'm not trying to tell you to forget that those things aren't true, but it's also like if you stay so much in like this person's gonna hurt me, you don't stay available to be reached when there is that good man or is that good woman, because we're gonna get hurt, but our gauge is hopefully not to get hurt in that level. But to round our last base, it's a running joke and theme on the podcast, and I'm getting more comfortable talking about this, is if you haven't put two and two together.
Well, you're about to release the files from your porn.
Hey, you know me, I got a resume. Baddies.
You brought Pinky out of retirement.
Who's that?
Oh, now he doesn't know.
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Who's that?
Now he doesn't know. All
I
right.
know, deadass. Who's that?
The woman you record.
No.
No,
Is that a corn star?
You know who Tiana Trump is?
Yeah. I'm not gonna cap. So Pinky's a corn star. Okay, probably in your top 10.
Same porn.
He's trying to make sure that our shit doesn't get shadow banned.
Hey man, we got enough reasons holding us back. Let's not add to the list. Anyway, the running joke and theme is here. If you haven't put together, I am a therapist, and one of the things that I enjoy doing is talking with folks and helping people solve problems or helping people come to a realization that's good for them so they can move forward in their life. And one of the things I've been seeing more recently come up is AI will replace therapy. And I saw this screenshot of this dude on the New York subway, and he was typing, how do I respond to my girlfriend in Chatgpt? And I said, this is fucking wild. So I want to ask you, because you've been pretty against therapy over here, and I'm just curious.
Hold on. No, you're not gonna misrepresent me, because
I apologize. It was the AI in my.
I went to therapy multiple times. Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just curious. Do you think AI will replace therapy?
I'm not gonna outright say AI will replace therapy. Now, I will say, if I were you, I'd probably spruce up my resume a bit. Start pulling from my skill sets and I don't know if you worked a job like a Foot Locker or something. Maybe like project management.
I got these shoes.
Project management, sales, I will start highlighting some of that.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I don't think it'll outright replace therapy. But I think agencies will start using when you do initial intake of patients, I think some of that will start be done by AI software for sure. But I think anything that can be done where it doesn't take actual humans to do it, the sky's the limit. Even with my field in marketing and corporate comms, 10, 15 years from now, there's not going to be a need for entry-level social media coordinators.
Damn. Okay.
Especially if it's just some shit where you're promoting events. You could give that to. I could put Chatgpt to make a production rundown for everything we want to talk about next week if I really wanted to.
No, it'll lose the tay.
In fact, I actually might just start doing that shit from now on.
Better just sit in your subject sometime.
No, I'll just say this. I think I've heard with you, and then I heard out there in a while. I heard a lot of like, yeah, I went to Chatgpt because me and my girl, or I was arguing with my friend, and they gave me an answer and it worked. And I don't want to say that's like loser behavior, but do you ever remember, like, I don't know if you ever did this before, where like you were so frustrated you went to Google and be like, all right, how do you talk to your
Never.
okay. I've had people like do that before, and I was like, this is similar to that.
People, huh?
No, nigga, it wasn't me.
Ever friend who struggles with drugs?
I'm high on happiness. So well, think of your closest friends group. You weren't available. You're kicking with them. They're like, oh yeah, I asked ChatGPT how to respond to my lady. How would you respond to them?
You want my real answer?
I want the real fucking answer.
Shit, did it work?
Okay, it worked.
So she's not upset anymore?
She's not upset.
Job done.
Damn. Okay. All right, you love the goddamn robots. Man, I think it's just cheesy, man. I feel like you're running from like actually doing the hard work. You're just like, instead of taking the time and thinking about like, how do I respond to this human? Now, I will give you this, because I don't want to, outright snitch on people, but I have heard, like, maybe like a year some change ago, I have heard some people be like, oh yeah, I do my notes with AI. And I'm like, hey, that's questionable. I don't know if you can do that. Type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I see it on the front end of like getting people set up on the intake portion, but I'm like, well, I start to use AI to like get my notes done, because like,
I'd consider it if I was you.
really,
Yeah.
you don't think that would be plagiarizing?
No. The fuck? It's capturing everything that's being said.
Even if I chat down, this is what we talked about in the session.
It can consolidate it for you.
You're not writing a research paper, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I think at this point, even though like, you and I haven't worked together formally, you could tell that I'm a pretty organized person with like, technical work that I have to do.
Yeah.
So for me, that's just a little bit more efficient. Like, even like with my job, like within all our meetings, they're all recorded now. And instead of having someone have to sit there and write down everything that's captured and they miss shit, AI software just spit out like summations of the meetings and like breaks it down by like, topics. It'll provide high level notes of like different times, like people were speaking, action items afterwards, so stuff like that. So
I think I'm one of the last therapists that still does pen and pad, because that's how it helps me to like remember stuff and then like keep up pace, and then that's how I connect things for people so they can kind of like see that. I see a benefit in the writing, but I also want to say like, with the help of AI, I like stuff like that, where I think when it comes to therapy, I think the AI portion could help us be better note takers and to like connect the dot that we may miss. Not saying like, because like when we look at the insurances, right, they're like, all right, depression should be cured in a year, but like we know as professionals, depression doesn't like work like that. And I feel like there's a way where maybe potentially, if the insurance companies are listening, with this, the AI could help us be able to connect dots sooner. You know what I'm saying? But the timeline is still like to the person, but I feel like it would just help like, oh, from this session, they're saying the same thing in different ways. So I can see it working in that way. But taking over, y'all want to see me? I'm the best therapist in the Pacific Northwest.
he's sweating.
What'd you say?
He's sweating.
I'm sweating.
The robot will have his job in about 3 years.
From all the great marriages I've saved.
All right, you know how lawyers have conviction rates?
Yeah.
Or like pitchers have save rates?
Yeah.
What's your save rate right now? Ballpark number.
Ballpark number. I do have to give this disclaimer. I look at a save rate is when a couple can leave my session.
Damn, this shit must be in the
Wait. When,
depths
when,
of hell.
when my couple can leave a session and know what they want to do with the relationship, whether they stay together or if they break up.
Okay, you know what I'm asking.
So I would say,
You know what I'm asking. Not the Rob answer. What Tay is asking.
okay, I would say I'm at like 63%.
Oh, Lord.
I think
Damn, it's bleak out here. Fuck, I thought. Damn,
no,
Oh.
relationships are hard, man.
I know.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm thinking the Mac.
This is after therapy, and you a chill guy, so fuck. I can only imagine if they're going to like some dickwad, like, damn, it's a coin flip. Fuck.
I will say this.
And you like 30,000 in the hole, Shit. And then divorce.
I would say I'm thinking of like 7 couples in my head, and they literally have like outright said, Robert, you saved our marriage, and like, you know, I see my partner differently because of you. And, you know, because I gotta admit, not everyone gets that far. And I would say to me, that makes me like do it.
All right, not to cut your knowledge. You've seen, we can close with this. You've seen The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
You know that scene where Bruce has faked his death and then he's out at dinner? Do you ever have those moments where you're Alfred and you like see a couple and you're like,
I promise you, and this was the cleanest one. And this is a client I fuck with, right? Like in another multiverse, we were probably friends. It was the first time I was with a client. I was like, did I give him like the what's up? Like, and I was like, nah, I gotta keep it chill. It was like one of those. He was with his daughter. It was IKEA. And it was just like one of those. And it was like, and I was like, but in his eyes, he's like, my dude. And I was like, so, but there are some clients I've seen out in the wild, and I'm just like, don't see me. But
Have you ever fucked some relationship up?
like you botched something in session?
no.
I don't know if this would be good advertising on his end. That's kind of a very leading question.
I would say if we're being honest, because I can say something like this. I've been in a session with a couple, and as I'm trying to work with his wife, I would say client gets kind of a bit like a little aggressive and testy, and I'm in so many ways I'm telling homie to chill out, and like he's thinking I am like
Testing his manhood.
a little bit, and I try to tell him like, you know, because how I do therapy, I always say to y'all, I'm for the relationship. I'm Mr. Fair. And if you're thinking that I am like leaning more towards your wife, that's actually an opportunity for us to grow our relationship. Talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain. I need to get this information because this is important. And I'm not saying that she's right or you're wrong. And like, even when I'm breaking that down, I can see that's agitating to you. So that's giving me information that you don't know how to regulate your emotions.
For sure.
So I'm just kind of like,
Okay. So now is super, and we can end on this because I know we're running late. Super troll question, but hypothetical. All right, gather around. All right. So different multiverse. You're not dating, your current girlfriend. All right. Say you're dealing with a shorty, right? I come in with my wife, and we're unpacking my problems like infidelity, and we dive into it. And then you start asking questions, prying, like, all right, how long have you and this other person been seeing each other? It's in the third. And then I tell you the person's name, and it's the woman you're dating.
Was it?
Do you end the session? Like, how does that go in therapist world?
It's called buck if you nut. Hands and feet. I off camera. That, or actually no.
Could you continue like?
No.
Oh,
That's actually happened to a therapist before. Dead ass.
a therapist.
I have a friend who does drugs.
No, that was actually on a podcast I listened to. It actually happened to a therapist.
Oh, damn, that's awkward as hell.
No, and the crazy thing about it, I don't know why she did this. She kept seeing the person and knowing that it was her. Like, to me, that's a conflict of interest.
So that's what made you end it?
No, what are you talking about? I would never do that. My clients, y'all Hello, my peoples. I'm here to help your life. I would never ruin it.
Help your wife.
No. I've worked too hard to trick off my fucking license, bro.
Real. I'm messing with you. But it was a pleasure doing this episode with you, bro. We had a lot of laughs. We got to, spin the block back on that last top 10, though. And by next week, I'll have a name for this shit.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Well,
or try to at least.
Oh, yeah. If you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't, please, if you made it this far in the video, drop your favorite Tay episode. Put it in the comments. We'll see if you made it this far. And then last but not least, shout out to the Backseat Critics. They are back. They're mobile. And they're doing shitty movies. So if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe. We out.